You can stay for the intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right. Oh, it's coming.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there we are. Hello,
Live? Are we
everybody.
live?
Welcome to Share Love Sundays.
We're here.
Yeah.
And there's Pops and Mom in the background. Krista.
Hello.
So we're all here. We're all here.
We're all here. That's right. Yes.
Hey, Kunle. How's it going, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've got some feedback there. Is that us or is that you?
I had to turn off
in the background. Should we not have that?
Oh, here we go.
Hello. Bear with us. We're just having a few technical issues. Kaygee, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think we're all good.
Yeah.
Just one quick thing. What happened to the Zoom chat?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Hang on. We're just
KOD on demand is here. Hello, KOD.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. And Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Thank you for coming. And
yay,
Dad.
Claudia. Oh, very good. Yes,
Hi,
the live
Dad.
chat's already going. This is cool.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. Feel free to participate throughout this live conversation. This is for you. So if you have questions for Kaygee, feel free to type them away and we'll ask them as we go along. And give us a cheeky like if you haven't already. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, it would. Yes. So, Kaygee, thank you so much for joining us and your lovely family. We can see in the background.
Yes, Dad's taking care of Mom as we go. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
Kaygee,
I'm ready for the questions. I'm ready for whatever you guys have.
He's raring to go.
Yeah.
I've done my stretches and my warm-ups. I'm good.
Like it, we're prepared. Okay, an easy one to start. Perhaps you could tell us who you are and what your channel's about.
Okay, perfect. So my real name is Kareem Gilani. And a lot of the people here probably already know me, but my channel is pretty much a channel for learning. So the topics of my videos are stuff where you'll gain something from watching the video. So it's not really going to be slapstick comedy as much, maybe more along the terms of edutainment. So a little bit of entertainment, but also with a lesson inside there.
Love that term, edutainment.
Yeah, I picked that up on YouTube. Some other people were using it. So I'm like, yeah, that fits my channel as well, right? So edutainment. So I've gone into different areas. So for one example, my one I really wanted to start out with was traveling. And traveling is like entertaining to see people go places, things like that. But I didn't want to just put music and just blast music and show scenery, but I wanted to like narrate a bit. So if you're watching my video, you're kind of going to learn about the places where I go to eat, what hotel I stayed at, what the rates might be like, things like that. So if you want to go to a similar place, you actually get a little bit of education as well as seeing the scenery as well. Yeah. So that was kind of the idea.
Sorry, Kaygee, I love the one you did about your hometown of Toronto.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I wanted to give people a real good idea of our city because it's really like a little world all in one city. Like Toronto is like one of the most diverse places you'll ever come. It's such a good city. But y'all gotta come.
We're desperate to come. Yeah, thanks for the invite. We'll be there.
Yeah. And I've got a close friend, Carolyn, who I went to school with. She's been living in Canada for many years, and she lives near Toronto too. So we're packing our bags.
Yeah.
You know what city she's in, or what?
She's in, I think it's Ottawa.
That's a little bit far.
Yes. Further. Yeah.
That's about a 5-hour drive. So yeah, maybe you just want to come to my place. I got room for you guys here, so you can.
Oh, cool. Well, and with Pop's cooking.
Oh, and you got Pop. Dad heard you.
That's the real reason we're coming.
Oh, obviously. You know, we do like our food, and that food looks amazing. And talking of food, if you could give us one dish that Pops makes that is your favorite, which would it be?
Okay, well, I switch that every week. But the recent, like, there's two I would say right now. So one that's already posted would be the tandoori chicken pasta, or what was it? Not tandoori. Sorry, it was the paneer chicken pasta. The last 2 episodes ago. So he has like Indian paneer, which is, if you're thinking in English terms, paneer is similar to like cottage cheese. So it's almost like cottage cheese, but it's like a block. It's not like, you know how regular cottage cheese is like little pieces when you buy it here. Paneer is almost like a block. You buy it as a block. So it's like cottage cheese, chicken, Indian spices, Italian spices, all blended together, and it's such a delicious meal. So that would be my number 1 right now. And probably in a week's time, when my dad makes his next video, which will be shrimp masala, that might take over as the number 1.
Oh my gosh, shrimp masala sounds amazing.
It's really good. I had the test run, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, yummy. So how when and why did you start getting your family involved in your channel? We obviously love family channels. So
yes. So, well, when I first started my channel, the same year that I started my channel is when we started finding out about my mom's health. So as you know, my mom has dementia and Alzheimer's. And the symptoms started showing up the same year, like 2015 is when I really started doing YouTube. Like I put my mind to it and said, I'm going to start. And the same year is when we started seeing issues with my mom in terms of her memory. So it kind of went side by side, and it kind of changed the way I approached YouTube. So YouTube kind of took a side seat in terms of like, if everything was good at home, I was ready to go full swing, put more videos, go harder and stuff like that. When this happened, now everything gets kind of thrown out of whack. So readjusting and life changing, like each year, mom's a little bit more dependent than the previous year. So there's more of my time taken. So in terms of that, I'm like, you know what, we have to do something that will be family oriented, that will make it fun. And I had to involve family at this point. I'm like, you know what? And our family is very close. So for me, that was like an easy transition. So the first thing that came to mind was like, I've always asked my dad to like teach me dishes and teach me how to cook and this and that. So it just popped in my head. I'm like, why don't I just share this with everybody else? Because I know my dad can cook really good food, right? And he knows what he's doing, and he learned from his mom when he was little, and he loves cooking, right? So I'm like, I just threw the idea at my dad. I'm like, what if we make some cooking videos and post it? He was on board right away. So he was like, yeah, that sounds good.
That's fantastic.
So I was like, cool. So I wanted to slowly implement it, right? So then every week is like, are we doing one this week? Or I'm like, wait, I got some of my videos. Then we're going to do cooking. We got to mix it in here a little bit. But he was ready to go. He was ready to put out a video each week and go. So you know what I mean? For him, he was ready to roll from day one. So
fantastic.
The good thing, so the good thing was like he was on board from day one. So I came up with Cooking with Pops as the term, right? As our series, and Chef Pops, and away we went. And you know, we slowly started building up our recipes. And my dad has a lot of recipes already, but nowadays he's just getting extra creative. So every time one is done, he's testing out a new one, and I'm getting like the benefits of that, because I just get to keep eating.
That's what I love about this series. There's always something, you know, like a twist on something that I know, or something that's completely different. You know, it's not the same stuff that you might see other people doing. It's always something new and exciting.
He's creative like that. Like even this last one with like the cassava beef curry, like I don't think I've seen anyone else do something like that. Like I don't know where he comes. You'd have to ask him about that. I don't know. I just enjoy it and don't say much. I'm just like, all right, keep bringing it, keep cooking.
Fantastic. So it's a real family, you know, it's more than a partnership. It's, you know, a real input from your family. And so Pops is actually instigating his ideas. So it's not just you saying, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? He's actually going forward and saying, I'm going to do this. And why don't we do that?
Exactly. Yeah. So it makes it easier for me too, because just like you ladies, like you have mom and daughter, and me and my dad, we're teaming up now, right? So from here on out, he's basically a permanent fixture of the Kaygee79 channel.
Yeah.
He Chef Pops on this channel for good. You know what I mean? And there's a lot more stuff he knows, which we haven't had a chance to divulge into. But slowly we may be expanding in the realm of like cooking and kitchens and food equipment, things of that nature over time. So just stay tuned for that stuff as well.
Yeah. I mean, the food and family are two of the biggest things on YouTube, I think, at the moment. You know, there are some other big things like travel and gaming, but food and family are very popular. And I think people are very interested to see how your family is, you know, how different families interact and know more about the person, you know, the creator, you know, more about them. So we love involving our family too, as you've noticed.
Yeah. So that's why you and I, we get along really well. We all understand each other because you coming from a family perspective, I'm coming from a family perspective. I think that's why we jive right from day one.
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look at what people are saying in the chat. Claudia says, YouTube reunion in Toronto. Yes. Yay. Roger's here. Stepdad Roger. Hello, Roger. Oh, Samantha. I'm sorry if I say your second name wrong. Samantha Belil.
Oh, Samantha. Yeah, I know Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Samantha.
Get some
Hi,
Chef
Samantha.
Kaygee.
Thank you for coming. And she says, we need to get some Chef Kaygee episodes.
Yeah, that might come down the road. It might come. So you have to stay tuned.
Fingers crossed.
Pops guy, just like I'm saying, Pops is on a creative streak right now, so I'm not going to be getting in the way of that.
Don't stop him.
Yeah.
So when he takes a little lull, I may sneak in there with something at some point. So Samantha, stay tuned for that.
That's exciting. And Sundays with Heart. Hello, thank you for coming. Lovely to see you. Food, family, and train wrecks. Lol. Yeah, we've had a few train wrecks, haven't we?
Yes.
So hi everyone, don't forget to ask your questions to Kaygee in the chat as we go along. It'd be lovely to hear from you.
Yeah, so what are your highs and lows? What do you like doing with your channel? What do you find a little bit more of a chore or difficult to do with regard to your channel?
Well, I love the cooking because I get to eat when the video taping is done. I do enjoy doing reviews because I'm just kind of like into stuff like that. So I like to dive deep into products and things of that nature. So that's kind of easy for me. The hard stuff is videos that I've kind of put a halt to at this time. Number one, like one of the first things I wanted to do when I started my channel was do basketball tutorials. And that's because I used to play basketball when I was younger. I've learned all the fundamentals and I used to play in high school and in university and all this stuff. So I have a good background in basketball. But getting a gym, getting like a gym to yourself, getting a space to do that kind of stuff is very difficult. Every time I go in the gym, someone else comes in, they start bouncing their basketball. It's just, that one was a nightmare. So I got like a little mini series done. So if you look at the bottom of my main page of my channel, you will see a little mini basketball series. But that was it. After that, I was like, I have to be able to like rent a gym for myself or find a way to get into a gym that other people won't come into. And then I will need at some point other bodies to like do demonstrations and stuff like that. So that one would take a lot of organizing. So that one, put that one on the back burner. And then another one I have is a category I called careers. And that one was where I wanted to interview people in different backgrounds and different careers and put it on my YouTube channel. But as you probably know, most people are very camera shy and it's hard to get people to commit to coming in and doing an interview. You know what I mean? Like they would say, yeah, this date, that date, then when the dates come, oh, can we reschedule? Can we do this? Can we do that? And getting people to actually be brave enough to come on camera and film, that's another difficult one for me. So I would say those two categories are my two challenging ones. But the career one, I will go back to that. I have an idea like how we're doing our live Zoom. I may try to do some recorded Zoom conversations with people because maybe they'll feel a little more comfortable.
Yes. If they know that you can edit it and take bits out that they're not happy with, then I guess then that's more of a safety net.
I could do that either way. Even if I go film with them, I could do that as well. But
of course.
It might take a little pressure off. They might feel more comfortable in their own home or whatever.
Yes.
So I might try to revamp it that way. And then also I'm thinking to expand my category from careers to careers, passions, and interviews. So like it gives a more broad range. So even if people are not doing career related stuff, but something they love to do or something that's really like they're passionate about, then I can add that in that category and expand and have more people that I can potentially pick their brain about those kind of things and post that kind of stuff. So whether it's, you know, a Zoom chat with somebody or if someone's willing to go live with me. And my last thing to do in there is probably, now that I've been doing YouTube for such a long time, is start putting little YouTube tutorials as well. Like if you're starting a channel, if you're doing some my own personal take on those kind of things. So that might expand into that, so that category can actually continue to grow.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're going with these interviews, isn't it? Kind of getting different takes on YouTube, and you know, because everyone's got a different perspective. I don't think there is necessarily a right way. So it's very interesting to hear, you know, what everyone thinks. So I think that'd be an interesting category, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yes, I agree. So you are very successful on YouTube, and we aim to be
I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm slowly coming along. You know what I mean? Slowly. This year actually was the first time I've been able to pick it up, because it's difficult in my life to find time to do YouTube. And because of COVID, now we're working a lot more remotely, so I'm home a lot more. So because of that, I have more time. So I have been this year being able to pick it up to do approximately 1 video a week, which for me is fantastic. And I do see the traction of doing that, but it's something I don't know if I'll be able to keep it up in the long run or what, but that's the plan for now, to try to keep some sort of consistency. And that's kind of how the growth really happens, right? The people are waiting to see you here, you know, every Sunday. Share the love Sundays. You got to come now.
We appreciate your support.
Yes, you've been there every time. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it.
And I think there's one thing we didn't realize when we started YouTube, just how much time goes into something like this, because it's not just making videos, is it? There's like the whole SEO thing, there's writing descriptions, tagging, promoting your videos. It could really be a full-time job if you wanted it to be. So how do you make sure that you're finding balance with YouTube and your busy life?
So for me, YouTube was I personally looked at it as a side hobby and not as a full-time career, because I have a full-time career right now. So I work for the city of Toronto as like a building inspector, and I work Monday to Friday doing that. Even though I work out of home, I still got to leave my house and go inspect different houses. I got to be on the road for a good portion of the day. The only difference now is in the morning, I don't always have to go into the office first. So I can start my day straight out of home and then go straight to my job sites and straight home a lot of the days of the week, but I'm still out and about. They declared us emergency service, like construction apparently can't stop. So even since COVID started, I went home for maybe a day or two, and then I was back doing inspections, and I've been busy ever since. And construction in Toronto is very busy. Like for some reason, even during COVID, the prices of housing still going up. Construction still booming. It's just like, for construction, is like COVID never happened. So it's nuts. So for me, work-wise, I'm busy, right? So Monday to Friday, I'm busy. I'm busy helping out with mom. So that's really my full-time career at this time. So I look at YouTube as a side thing. It's like almost like a side hobby, which I want to eventually turn into a secondary income. So right now I make a little bit of money on the side doing it. But not enough to, maybe I can pay a phone bill with it. That's about it. You know what I mean? And that's about it. But my whole goal is, like, when I started YouTube, I started it with a long-term thing in mind. Like I said to myself, I want something where people gain something from it. And, you know, like, for example, with cooking, like if you're ready to do a recipe today, the video's there today. If you're ready to learn it 5 years from now, that recipe is still there for you 5 years from now. to be able to do it. So my whole goal with YouTube is to make videos that are long lasting and things that grow over time. And my whole goal was to just do it over the long term. If I can do more videos in a year, that's great. I'll do more. But if I slow down or something, then I slow down, but I don't stop. So my whole goal with YouTube is just a long-term process with it. That's pretty much how I see it for now.
Yeah. Oh, should we say hello to everyone in the chat? Hello, everyone.
Yes. Wow, look how many people are coming.
Richie and Vanessa travel.
Hey, Richie and Vanessa, thank you for coming.
They say, oh, I can see Chef Pops.
Yeah, Chef Pops is there.
And they say, it sounds like you've got an interesting job, Kaygee.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's a fun job. So I like my job too. Like I like my profession. So it's one of those things is like YouTube, if you take it on as a full-time thing, it's a full-time thing. Like you said, you got to research your products. You got to come up with video ideas. You've got to come up with creative ways to film. You got to keep your information fresh. You got to be on different platforms. I don't think just YouTube works. Like you got to be on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. And like you said, you got to be promoting yourself all the time, right? So
yes,
in my life, I'm still promoting my channel. I'm not going as hard as someone who would be going full-time should be going. You know what I mean? If you're full-time, you got to be going boom, 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 boom. For me, it's like a medium pace, I would say. I'm at a medium pace, but not like a full-time pace. And I slow down a bit. I got to do other things in my life. And that's kind of how I keep it. So to become full-time will be challenging for me at this point. You know what I mean? To go at it that hard, it would be challenging. But I'm slowly learning and growing. I watch other channels that are more along the lines of channel growth and trying to make a living off doing YouTube. And slowly I try to implement them little by little. So I'm moving in that direction, but it's not my be all end all. Like I have a full-time career, so it's not like it's not my only way. I'm not like desperate with it. Like this is my only way out. And for some people, they look at it that way. And sometimes that might be a good thing because you go way harder on it. Like it's do or die, right? So it all depends on the person in their situation.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone has their own journey. I get the impression sometimes that people might look at YouTube before they start as kind of a get rich quick kind of scheme, which obviously it isn't, as you've just said. But for people who are wondering, could you just explain a little bit about how monetization works on YouTube?
Well, when I started, I was kind of lucky. I think you only needed like maybe 10,000 views or something at that time.
Those were the days.
And you could just apply to their program of monetization, and you just have a monetized channel. And then I think 2017 or somewhere around that point, they changed it where you now have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have a minimum of 4,000 hours of watch time within the last year or 365 days. So that means you have to have consistent views coming along as well as your channel growth. So they set a minimum standard, which is doable, but I would say you would have to put out consistent videos and be doing it for maybe a year or so before that happens. Now, if you're lucky, like I was lucky with one video. So I have a video of my trip to Jamaica. And that one kind of went a little bit viral. It has about over 400,000 views at this point. That one video literally has kept me as a monetized channel over the last couple of years. And it's finally dying out now. But the good thing is as that dies out, my other consistent videos are coming out. So my views are kind of evening out across a bunch of videos, which is probably better. So I'm not depending on just one video. But it is time consuming and it takes time to build up that minimum to get monetized. So then once you reach that minimum, you can apply to their program. They can accept you, and then you have to open what is called a Google AdSense account. So that AdSense is for literally getting your money. So when you make money on advertisement, then it slowly builds up in this account. And every month that you go over $100, they automatically deposit into your bank account. So that's kind of what happens at that point. So is getting to that point where they allow you to monetize, and then your monetization pretty much comes through advertisement on your channel, right? So that's one way that you can make money. Another way is right away, right off the back, you can do affiliate marketing. So the most common one that everyone knows about is Amazon. So you can go and apply to be an Amazon affiliate. And then what you do is you get your own personalized links, and then you can put them under your videos. And if people click on those links and buy products off those links, you get a small commission, couple of %, for whatever product the person buys. So I haven't done that yet, but now that I'm doing reviews, that's probably a good one to consider, because I could start putting a lot of the stuff I'm buying is off Amazon. So I could probably start putting those links under my videos and make a few dollars that way as well. So monetization can come through different ways. And then if you start getting popular, people can even give you sponsored videos. So they actually pay you a fixed amount or a fee to do a video on their product or a topic or whatever they're looking for. So there's different ways that you can do it. But for YouTube itself, you have to hit that minimum. So you got to have 1,000 subscribers and minimum 4,000 hours of watch time, and then you can apply.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So do you have any funny stories of things that have happened whilst videoing that you can tell us about?
Funny stories. Well, we got stories of me and my dad. If you see, like, we look very happy on our videos. Sometimes when we're filming, it gets a little heated. So we go back and forth sometimes because, you know, my dad loves to just keep cooking, and I'm like, we have to show the audience what we're doing. Sometimes he's ready to toss the food in and keep going. He loves the cooking part, and I'm like, you got to teach the people. So he's sometimes about to toss the food. I'm like, no, don't do it. So, and that happens quite often, actually, because he's just ready to roll. Or like he's into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
You got to show it on the camera first so they know what you're putting in the food. Things like that. So we have moments like that back and forth. So with me and him cooking, like if I ever show the bloopers, that would be funny.
You should. You should. That would be great watch.
We love a blooper reel, don't we?
Yeah. Lucy's dad has just commented. John said dads are like that, aren't they, Lucy?
Oh, yes. Yes. Have to keep these dads under control.
Yes.
And Richie and Vanessa say, oh, drama.
Oh, and Cranty's here. Soulful Lifestyle. Hi, Cranty. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for coming.
He's another cooking channel.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to check you guys out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was good to see.
Yeah, well, Lucy was just going to say, please, if you're watching, please give us a like while you're watching. That would be really appreciated. Just click that thumbs up button for us. That would be awesome.
Thank you.
So we were talking a little while ago about, you know, the Jamaican video that really went viral. Are there any other videos you've done that you think, oh, I thought they'd get more views, and that you really like? Or on conversely, other videos that you think, wow, how come that one took off?
Yes, that's 100% accurate, because that's exactly how it goes both ways. So the videos for me, I really wish got a lot of views are my ones within my self-help category. So things about, you know, how service to others, embracing diversity, things of that nature, which are like humanitarian style videos. But in my mind, I kind of knew they don't always get the most popularity, or I don't know what the right term is, but it doesn't always get the most traction.
Yeah,
I
love your self-help videos, because they're really you know, really what's the word, really helpful, but they're also really you know, you say this you should do, this you should do, this you should do, actionable and and you've got them really organized into an order. So although it's self-help stuff, it's really good to follow, and you know, you sort of worked it all out of the way you should go about you know, thinking about the subject and how you should action it, which is really good. I love the organization.
Thank you very much. Well, I do organize it, though. I do put it on pen to paper first. So I really do some of the stuff ahead of time and write it down, because I want to give something that's practical and you can actually, because a lot of people talk, and then you're like, okay, how do I actually do this? Like,
exactly. Methodical. That's the word I was searching for. Methodical. See, our brain wasn't quite, you know.
It's called a Virgo mentality. all about the details and figuring out how do I actually execute this. And that's right. Like I do want something that somebody can do practically. And it may or may not work for the person, but at least they have something to try. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they can see, and you can always change things. You know what I mean? Like whatever I try to give people, I always try to tell them it's not set in stone that you have to do this particular way, but this is almost like a form work. You know what I mean? Like this is sort of gives you a structure, and now you bend the structure to your shape that satisfies you, so that you can use that as a benefit in your life.
So do you enjoy watching other people's self-help videos, or does it come just from within and your experience more?
No, I like watching other people's as well. I like people who are more practical or hands-on, like a Tony Robbins style. I like it. Take massive action. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like you have no excuse for something like that. Like I like people like that. Theoretical, this, that. No, I like people who have practical. So Tony Robbins is one example of someone who has a lot of practical methods of doing that. And then even my father has taught me a lot of things in life. And a lot of my stuff comes from a combination of like other motivational people, my own experiences in life, teachings of my father, even religious teachings, and sort of like combining it together and basically making like a hybrid final product, right? So and that's what I try to present. So I take a little bit from each, and then I'm like, how does it work best for me? And then I just give it to you as well. Like, this is what I'm doing. See if it works for you too. I don't know if it will or won't. But you know, those kind of things make a difference, right? So like that's life experience. Like if you're starting out fresh. No, if I was just saying, if you're starting out fresh, maybe you're only doing one of the items, you know what I mean? But maybe if I tell you 4 things, you're like, oh, okay, I can implement a little bit from each, and you can jump ahead right off the bat.
Love that.
Yeah, Soulful Lifestyle say methodical is the magic time that makes your talks unique.
Oh, I agree.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that's lovely. And Baker Feeling Adventures have joined us. Hi guys. Thank you for coming along.
They say, hi guys, good morning, afternoon and evening. The time difference is so confusing. So well done to everyone who made it.
That's true. Richie and Vanessa are like California, so they're close by to you guys.
Oh right, yes, more our time zone. Yes,
They do travel vlogs as well, and they've done a food truck vlog on their channel.
I saw
for
that.
me. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was for me. They did it for me.
You got your shout out.
I got a shout out. Thanks for that. I was happy about that one. I enjoyed it. Yeah, the shout out was so good. So I was really happy about that, and the food was good too. Like, you got to watch that video. It's good if you haven't already seen it.
We'll have to put some links in.
Yeah, we'll get some links from you, and we'll pop those in the description. So if you're watching this on playback, then you can find those links in the description.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, and I think you had 2 parts to that question. I think I only answered one part. I can't remember what was the other part. Can you repeat that question again?
I think he was saying a long time ago.
Yes, I got you guys off guard. That's good. Yeah. But I'd be the one caught off guard.
It's not difficult. You were saying, was there any videos that maybe didn't do so well that took off, and why do you think that they took off?
Yes, and then the ones that took off. So the one that took off for me that make me laugh, or like I did one on a nail clipper.
Right.
Like, that was my first ever review. I did a review on a nail clipper just because I liked it. And that's kind of how I started it, by fluke. I was like, this is a really good nail clipper. Let me just do a review on it. And it has a couple of thousand views. And I'm like, really?
Wow.
Like I'm shocked. Like, I'm like, a nail clipper got a few thousand views.
That's
like,
amazing.
Everyone needs to cut their nails, right?
Yeah. And then I have one on a toothbrush, and that has like 3,000 views. And I'm like,
wow.
Okay. So those are the ones that catch me off guard. So like those ones caught me off guard. I'm like, I have 3,000 views on like on a toothbrush, yet I do like one about how to live a good life and how to like, you know, organize your life. It has a couple of hundred views. Like, this makes no sense to me, but okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, so it's a very, and my channel is quite diverse too. So you can go in all sorts of directions. It's really like an overall life channel. Like home life, life advice on how to, approach life, experiences traveling, cooking is a very, everybody's got to eat food. So it goes all over the place with the life topics. But at the end of the day, each and every video is something where you learn something, where hopefully you pick up something and learn something. So those are my surprising ones.
We've said before on these talks that, that we're often told that we should really theme your channel and keep it small.
Niche down, right? Niche down.
Niche down. But
a niche down. Life Educator.
Exactly.
That's my niche.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 words. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's my niche.
But your niche doesn't have to be too narrow, does it? You can have variety within that niche.
Yeah. Well, the thing with me is like I can't even do that because my nature, like ever since I was a child, I'm the kind of person that has to do a little bit of this, then I have to switch it up and do something else and switch it. I can't just go hardcore on one thing. Like I'm just not built that way. Even in school, when I was in elementary school, like we'd have our sports time, then I'd be like in the choir, then I'd be in like a school play, and then I'd be learning to play an instrument, and I'd be doing this. I never, like, to be the best at something, you really got to sacrifice a lot of things and focus in on one thing. I've never been that, like, I get really good at something, and then I'm like, okay, I want to try something else. And that's just me. So my channel has to reflect the real me, and the real me is not the kind of person to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
being
myself
on your channel is so important, isn't it? You can't pretend to be somebody who you're not.
Yeah, I can't just sit and do reviews for the rest of my life. I'll like go nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have to diversify. I have to do a little bit of everything. Like that's why I love doing YouTube, because I'm able to diversify. Like you haven't seen any videos on my channel related to my line of work. And that's another area. Yeah, you never see, and you probably never will unless I retire from work. I don't want to conflict or cross over that realm right now. But I have about 1,000 videos I could do just on my line of work as a building inspector in construction and building houses and stuff like that. I have a whole category ready to go for that in here, right? But you won't see that for the time being. There's only one of me, and there's only so many videos I can put out at a time. But I like to have the ability to do that if I want to, you know what I mean, on my channel.
Yes.
If I choose to go that route, I can do it because it's life education, and construction is life education.
Of course.
It's, it's a sneaky little niche.
Yeah. It allows you to sound like you're niching while still diversifying. I love it.
Pretty much, exactly.
And speaking of being yourself, we kind of touched on it briefly there, but obviously like there's the matter of heritage and culture and things like that, which we love to talk about on our channel, because obviously the UK and America, but you kind of have that as well, because you've got, your Indian heritage as well as living in Canada.
Yes.
Aside from the cooking, which is, a great celebration of your heritage, how else do you incorporate that into your channel if you do?
The diversity, well, you'll probably see a lot of it in my travel videos. See who I travel with. I don't travel with just Indian people, or, you know what I mean? I travel with my friends from childhood and see my friends. Like I have friends from all over the world, and they've all grown up in Toronto. So I have friends from Jamaica. I've got people with Irish background, people with Japanese background. I have my friend Ozzy Awesome, right?
Yay!
He lives in Japan. Yeah, Oswald, he's probably sleeping right now because it's the middle of the night in Japan. But he's someone I travel with a lot, right? And if you see, when we travel, we just meet with everybody. We don't really feel awkward about it, because even I have in my one video, I think the one about embracing diversity, I show a photograph of my elementary school, like when I was in elementary school and as a kid. And if you look at my classroom, it's just like a whole blend of different people, right? From all over the world. So for me, it's very natural and very easy to blend in anywhere and to speak to anyone and not feel awkward about it. I can go to Africa, I can go to Japan, I can go South America, I can go anywhere and pretty much feel at home. So growing up here, and I can say, like, even as kids, like we were encouraged to just to show off our culture. So we even had like cultural days where people come on stage. Like I'll dress in like my Indian Bollywood kind of thing and do some dancing or whatever.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then
We'd
we had
love
the
to
Caribbean
see that,
culture.
by the way.
Yeah.
Another video.
I don't have, no footage, thank God. Yeah. I would be a little embarrassed now as an older. When a kid, you just go like, when you're a kid, you're carefree, you do whatever. When you get older, you're like, yeah. You feel a little bit more self-conscious, or maybe sometimes you don't. But anyways, for me, I was like, yeah. But it's good. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be like, yeah, you guys should see it. But it's good. But you see different people from different cultures expressing their cultures and showing it, and even religious holidays and stuff like that are celebrated, and especially in the schools, they're all kind of embraced. So this city and this country, I think overall the whole country, but especially in Toronto, because it's such a diverse city, everything's embraced. So even if you're here in the summer season, there's one after another of different kind of festivals. They have like Caribbean festivals, they have like a Latin festival, Greek festival, Italian festival. They have so many different cultural festivals, and everybody from every background goes to them, and they're actually getting more and more crowded year after year. So it's almost getting overcrowded now. But before it was like, you could browse around a little bit openly, but it just goes to show like the cultures of all over the world are embraced in Toronto. So here, like my growing up is very inclusive and just naturally. So at the end of the day, we're all human beings. At the end of the day, in every community, there's like good and bad people. In every community, there's conflict and resolution. You know what I mean? You'll see it. We're more similar than different. And when we embrace each other, the best part about it is we get to enjoy the best of what each culture has to offer. So I'm lucky enough to get to experience that firsthand here in Toronto.
That's wonderful.
Doesn't Toronto just sound amazing?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just like,
once this COVID stuff dies out, you gotta come. You gotta come when all the festivals are back on and everything. You'll have a wonderful
time. We'd love to come.
It's on the bucket list for sure.
For sure. So talking about places to go, Kaygee, is there anywhere, where in the world, well, obviously there's lots of places in the world you'd like to visit, but if you had a ticket and you could go anywhere, in a perfect world, where would you go next?
That's there's a lot of places. I can't I just pick one, but I mean, like,
London.
I've been to London. I'd love to go back to London. I was there in 1999 last, and I had a really good time there. Like, I think I told you, Lucy, my favorite London Dungeons was my favorite.
Love the London Dungeons.
I love that. The little history. I thought I was going to see like a little wax museum and I was going to leave, and it ended up being like a 2-3 hour adventure. And I'm like, this was incredible. Like it turned into like a little amusement park, theme park kind of adventure. So that was my favorite thing I did, because in my mind I thought it was something completely different.
Oh yeah. Nothing's little in London.
and getting around the transit system there is fantastic. And then of course when I came back to Toronto, I cried because our system's like crap compared to yours. Right? Like you guys have
same where we live here.
Not all of them. Taking the underground. Oh man, you come out of the station, you're right at your destination. You only have to walk anywhere. St. Paul, you come out, oh, there it is. You come out the Tower Bridge, oh, there it is. Like everything's right in front of you as soon as you come out the station. So London would be a great place. I would love to visit again.
Marvelous.
I think if I could go anywhere though, one place I was thinking of was the Philippines, because I've heard of a place called El Nido, Palawan, and it's apparently a really good vacation spot. And I've seen some photographs just recently, not too long ago. So because that's in my head right now, I'll take that one. So in the Philippines, that vacation spot is just beautiful water. And not too far away from there would be Bali. And Bali, Indonesia, another amazing place, right? So those kind of places, those would be fantastic locations to go. But that wouldn't be it. Just next, and then more.
There's always so many wonderful places you want to visit, even within your own country. There's so many places to visit.
Within Toronto, not Toronto, within Canada. It's so huge. First of all, like Canada is humongous. There's like 50 countries in one. Like You know what I mean? Like we got to fly like 5-6 hours to go to other parts of our country. You know what I mean? It's huge. You got the West Coast and you got the mountains, skiing, you like all that, the Rocky Mountain kind of area, you know, and Calgary, Vancouver. Vancouver is beautiful for the mountains and the scenery, and Whistler, BC for the skiing. And then Northern Ontario, we have Algonquin Park, which is a big national park, and people go there for camping, things like that. And I have one video about a trip to my friend's cottage. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
I have.
Lucy's seen it all. She really did her homework. That's good.
Name a video Lucy hasn't seen.
So if you see that one's Northern Ontario, and look how beautiful that is, right?
Oh, like, stunning.
My friend's cottage is right on the, and we have like thousands of lakes in Ontario. Thousands, so many clean freshwater lakes. So for nature, you don't have to, like, even though there's COVID and stuff here, you really don't have to leave Canada to go on a good vacation. You can do it right here. Yeah.
I was exploring a new YouTube channel yesterday, and they were in Canada, and they said there's 2 million lakes in Canada. Does that sound right to you? That seems like a huge number. 2 million lakes.
It's, you know, what happened was, you know, when the glaciers and stuff came down, when the ice age was there and they receded backwards, wherever there was holes in the ground or any divots and stuff, it left fresh water in all these places as it receded back. So Canada, we got all the fresh water of the world here. We're not worried like the rest of the world. Oh, we're going to run out of fresh water. No, we're worried about everyone coming to, like, we're taking your fresh water because you got but we have a lot of fresh water. Yeah, you get a lot of fresh water here. We got tons. We don't have to worry about, oh, we got to turn the tap off too soon, we're going to run out of fresh water. No, we got tons of it. So we go up to the lake. My friend's cottage, he has a pump down by the lake. Fresh water for the rest of our lives galore. You know what I mean? Is just, we got tons of fresh water here. So there, lakes, it sounds right. Like if they say we got like 2 million, I believe that, because even when you drive just in northern, everywhere you go, there's lake this, lake that, little lakes, big lakes, huge lakes, tons of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if 2 million. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I agree.
Amazing. Should we have a check-in with the chat?
Yes, check in with the chat. Catchphrase.
Oh, Roger says Toronto is a beautiful city. Yes, Roger's very well.
Have you been?
Yes, that's my stepdad. How many times has Roger been to Toronto?
I don't know how many times.
Rog.
Yeah, but I was actually speaking to him again yesterday about traveling to Toronto, because I know he really likes it. So we'll get there. This sounds more like a threat than anything. What else is going on in the chat, Lucy?
Argentina. Baker Feeling Adventure says Argentina is a good place to visit.
Oh,
South
America.
Argentina. Yeah,
that would be good.
And Richie and Vanessa say we want to visit the Philippines so bad.
Group trip. Let's go together.
Someone suggested that we make a video on the Philippines the other day, and I'm afraid we don't know very much about it, unfortunately, but perhaps if we went, we'd be able to make a video.
Yes.
There you go. Reason to go on a trip.
It's a sign. Let's go to the Philippines. And Roger says he's been twice.
Oh,
wow.
Lucky Roger.
Toronto. That's good. Next time you come, let me know. I'm here. Tour guide.
Oh yeah, tour guide. Yeah, you'll have all of our family coming. You know that. Not just the two of us.
I'm here. I'm ready to go. I like exploring my own. You know, it's funny. Toronto's changing a lot too. Like with all this construction and development, it's becoming a very popular world city. So half the time when I go downtown now, I'm like, where am I? Like, I don't even recognize my own city. It's transforming like daily.
Wow.
So it's like good and bad. Like if you've lived here, you probably don't like it because you know the history and the old Toronto, and there was a lot of cool areas that are kind of disappearing. But if you've never been here, it's another amazing giant city, right? So for you, it would be the first time. You wouldn't know the difference, so you'd have the time of your life. You wouldn't know the difference. But it's a great city. Like in the old days, I would say Toronto was kind of the type of city where it was like a big world-class city, but there was a lot of space. You had room to move around. There wasn't that many people. So you actually had room to breathe. You can stay at a certain intersections and relax. And now it's getting to the point where there's the hustle and bustle is here. So now people are running all over the place. There used to be an intersection, Yonge and Dundas, which is sort of like our mini Times Square kind of intersection. And when I was in university back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, I used to go just hang out at that corner, and it wasn't too bad. Now, if you come out at that intersection, there are just people flying all over. You just want to get out of there. You either got to move, right, or you can't stay there. Like you gotta get out of there. Or if you stay, you got to move with the crowd and go to an open spot or something. But it's changed. So now Toronto is like a big city and busy like a big city, and is getting busier day by day. So you won't feel the difference because you don't know the difference, right? You'll just be like, oh, that's normal. Toronto's a busy city. But for someone who grew up here, we feel the difference. So, but you'll have a blast. Yeah.
I
mean, if you've lived in London, no problem.
Yeah, nothing will shock me.
You'll be fine. You'll be like, this ain't that busy. It's okay.
It's like being at home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so next question. Before we finish, if you could boil everything down to everything you've learned on your YouTube journey so far into one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Ooh, that's a good question. that's what you got to think about, like into one little statement. Well, I would say if you're planning to start YouTube, just know why you're doing it, right? Like if you're doing it trying to think of getting rich or doing this or doing that, really think it through. If that's the case, then do homework to find out how to open a channel that is good to monetize with. You know what I mean? Or if you're doing it for pleasure or fun, then know that you're doing it for that reason, and make sure you have other sources of income to back you up. You know what I mean? So you can do it as a part-time gig. But if you're going in with the goal in mind to actually be a money maker, you really got to research things like what is like popular topics that are going to be easy to monetize with and make money with. Definitely niching down, because niching down to an area does make it easier. So if you're a specific channel that just does reviews, for example, on specific types of products. So I'll give you one example is like there's some barbershop channels, and all they do is get the latest hair clippers and different hair cutting tools. They're constantly uploading videos about that, and then they're uploading videos strictly about how to give good haircuts, the newest hairstyles, so they're like niche right into barbershop and hair cutting, and they pick up quick because all the people that are into that topic start following them, right?
Yes.
So if you're looking to make money, like do your homework ahead of time. Go watch some channels about, like, Think Media is a good channel for if you want to do like monetizing your channel. They give you good ideas of how to come up with a good niche and things like that. Coming up with a proper channel name, right? Like my channel name is very vague, Kaygee79, but even your channel name, you got to come up with something like if you're doing hair cutting, then such and such barber, like barber so and so, or hair cutting tips, or whatever kind of name that kind of like lets you know what you do. Just like Richie and Vanessa Travel, just put in the word travel at the end, they're a travel channel, right? So things like that. So if you're looking to do it as a full-time career, then have a goal in mind in terms of where you can monetize quickly. And even if you're in a competitive environment, it doesn't matter, because there's always, like, you have the whole world at your tips on YouTube, right? So you just need a small chunk. Like there's billions of people, you need your little share of that market, right? So pick something that can be monetized, that can be made money from. Don't do something too awkward and too off the rails that has no chance of getting monetized. And you can even do entertainment if you're singing, if you're a singer, like music, things of that nature. So think about that. Like, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for a passion, or are you doing it for a career? For me, I was doing it more as like a long-term thing that is a side hobby. So just think of, I would say the main thing is to first think of, why are you doing YouTube? And I would just narrow it down to that. Why? And based off why you're doing it, approach it from that way first and then go after it that way. And always remember, this is a long-term thing. If you're thinking of doing something quick and short-term, don't bother. This should be something you enjoy doing. It should be a passion, and think about it as a long-term thing. If you're thinking about it short-term, it's going to be difficult. You may by fluke hit the jackpot right off the bat, but there's very few. That's far and few. Most people go through a long journey to build their channel, build their community, build everybody around them. So number one, why are you doing YouTube? Number two, research accordingly, right? And then just be in it for the long haul. Those are my advice.
Great tips, great advice.
And I think that why is what the other good thing about having that why there is, that's what's going to keep you going, because it does get sometimes demotivating. You'll wake up one day and maybe you've lost, you know, however many subscribers, or your video won't do very well, or you might get some nasty comments or something. So having that why there is really good to keep you going through the times when maybe it's not so good.
Yes, definitely. So,
yeah, and I think you've got to enjoy the journey, haven't you, really, having said that, you know, because it isn't just about that goal in the future.
Yes, you watch my video, enjoy the journey, right? How to have more fun in life. Enjoy the journey, right? And that's so important, actually. That's very important. Like whether you're YouTubing, working, doing whatever you're doing, the journey, like everyone's so focused on everything else. It's the present moment that you really got to, you know, take a deep breath and just, you know, take in the fresh air, have a glass of, you know, like delicious watermelon juice, you know what I mean, and enjoy it. Like things like that, like little things. You really got to take the time to do that, because life goes by quickly, right? Rapidly. So when you think about that, like the journey is the most important thing. You'll get to wherever you got to go. Just enjoy the journey to get there, right?
Well, very well said.
Yeah.
Pops,
if anyone has any questions for Kaygee, pop them in the chat now. You know, this is your chance to get your questions answered. Hi, Pops.
Oh, hi, Pops.
How are you doing today?
I'm in the close-up now.
Yeah.
Nice to speak to you.
I was in the background. Yeah, I was in the background.
We brought you into the main frame.
One thing
what have we got
about,
to look forward to coming up on Chef Pops?
Oh, thanks. One thing about his channel we want to do is my background about restaurant design, restaurant construction, stuff like that. So we'll add to his channel and even teach people how to do designing.
Fantastic.
That's
what a wonderful idea. Yeah.
This was our business for, you know, about 30 years or so.
Oh,
and my wife and I had in an office and everything, and we did this business. And I'm the best at it.
You're a little bit cocky there. Okay, yeah. Well, that was what I was talking about, expansion. Expansion on the cooking.
We'll add to the channel now, later on.
Yeah.
As time permits.
I can't wait for that, genuinely. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that's a separate career path, but all to do with food and cooking and eating. So it's all interconnected.
Lots of people want to go in restaurant business, and this can give them the idea how to go about.
Fantastic. Well, that's brilliant for anyone who's thinking of setting up their own restaurant.
Atmosphere is so important when you're eating. It's very often overlooked, isn't it? But it's very important to have a nice place to eat as well as good food.
Yes, indeed. Very much so, I think.
People saying hi to you, Dad.
Hi to everybody.
Soulful Lifestyle. Kranti, she's saying hi. Claudia saying hi.
Yeah. Thanks for all the good wishes.
Okay.
Claudia saying hi too.
Hi, Claudia. Hi, Kranti.
Yes, cool. We're very excited about that.
Yeah.
Even Richie and Vanessa say hello.
Hey, Richie and Vanessa, how are you?
Oh yeah, that's great. I'm loving the chat. It's like everybody's involved. I love it.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been in the chat today. You've all been so nice with your comments, very supportive, and we appreciate that. If you haven't yet, don't forget, a little thumbs up for us is really helpful for our channel. We'd appreciate it so much.
Thanks.
And if you haven't yet, go and check out Chef Pops and Kaygee on Kaygee79.
Yeah.
It's me again.
So yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on, Kaygee. We really appreciate it, and we really had fun talking to you and your family today. It was
thank you so much.
And
thank you.
seeing all the lovely comments in the chat too. And we'll put links on the video for the various things that you mentioned. And Roger says, great job, everyone. Great advice, Kaygee.
Yeah, just a quick thing. Anybody have any questions before I go? Any quick questions, or is that did I state everything I needed to state?
Mark's here. Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming.
Hey,
nice
Mark.
to see you. Yeah, and whilst we're waiting for those questions, we'll just do a cheeky plug because we're here every Sunday, aren't we, Mum?
Yes.
And next week we're talking to Mason Adventures, who have they're living in the UK, but they also have English and Moroccan heritage.
Yes,
that's very interesting, and they film their family adventures and days out. So yeah, join us for that. It'll be an interesting chat.
I think it's going to be an hour earlier, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, than this one. So yes, please join us for that too. Any questions in the chat, Lucy?
Soulful Lifestyle say, here's wishing Brit Girls and Kaygee abundance and peace in all you do.
Lovely.
That's
you
really
so
lovely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love it.
Is there anything you'd like to say about your channel that we haven't asked you already, Kaygee?
No, you guys asked some really good in-depth questions, and I think I pretty much covered the different dips and valleys of my channel. Like, you know, I think I've covered it all. So hopefully whoever, you know, is into this kind of stuff, learning throughout their lives, and I always say we grow together, right? So come participate, leave comments, ask questions, make video requests, you know, whatever you feel like is important, let me know, and then we'll try to tackle it together.
Wonderful. Well said. Thank you so much for being a wonderful guest.
And thank you for having me on your live. This is my first live, and I'm very happy to have done it on your channel.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for your first live. Wow, amazing job. Yeah, because it can be a little intimidating, but
well, with you is very comfortable. You ladies is so comfortable. It feels like just a regular chat, you know? Regular chat.
Oh, that's nice. That's a lovely thing for you to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sending you a lot of love too.
Yeah.
Sending you both lots of love.
Lots of love. Yeah.
Love to you. Yeah.
To you too. Yeah. Well, Kaygee, we'll keep in touch with you and your channel. Can't wait to see what happens next. And enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Lots of love. All the best with your channel as well. And I'll be watching you ladies as well. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Bye for now.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye.